close your eyes, nothing else matters. Have you ever noticed the exact moment when it happens? It's not a decision, not really. It's a surrender so deep it feels like gravity has changed its mind. One moment, the world is a series of demands, a screen, a face, a list, a light. The next, you simply grant permission. The eyelids, those most tender of curtains, grow heavy with a truth your mind has been arguing against all day. There is a sanctuary that requires no journey, no password, no payment. It is summoned by a single, sacred act of closure. To close your eyes is to withdraw the most primary vote you cast all day long, the vote for what is out there. It is to step off the stage of appearances and return at last to the undeniable reality of the felt, the inner, the unseen. Welcome back to Nightform Stillness. I'm Sarah, and tonight we are not looking for peace. We are performing the one simple, radical action that declares it already exists. We are closing our eyes, and in that darkness, we will remember why nothing else ever truly mattered. It begins with the muscles. Two tiny, delicate muscles, the orbicularis oculi, receive the signal from a soul grown weary of separation. They contract with a gentleness that feels profound after a day of forcing them wide. The lashes, those dust catchers and light filters meet. It is a kiss, a seal. The visual cortex, that relentless processor of shapes, symbols, and threats, is sent an official notice. Intermission. The show of the world is on pause, and in the sudden, velvety blackness that follows, a different kind of seeing begins. Not with the eyes, but with the skin, with the breath, with the inner ear that listens to the silence between heartbeats. You are trading a world of objects for a universe of presence. We live in a civilization of the wide open eye. We equate seeing with knowing, with controlling, with being present. We fear that if we close our eyes, we will miss something crucial. We will be vulnerable. We will be absent. But the ancient, whispering wisdom of the body knows the opposite is true. To close your eyes is not to become absent from the world. It is to become present to yourself. And yourself is not a small thing. It is the very ground from which all perception of the world springs. By turning away from the 10,000 things, you turn toward the one thing that gives them all meaning, the aware, silent consciousness that is reading these words. You are coming home to the witness, and to the witness, nothing else matters, because everything that does matter, love, peace, being, truth, is not an object to be seen, but a state to be inhabited. So feel it now, if you can. The gentle weight of your own eyelids, the subtle strain of keeping them open, released. The world of form dissolves into a warm, dark sea. Sounds may become clearer, or they may soften into a distant hum. Thoughts may arise, but they are like shapes made of the same dark water. They have no solidity, no power to compel your gaze. You are no longer looking at anything. You are simply being looked from. You are the source of awareness, resting in its own native darkness. And in this place, the frantic categories of the day, important, urgent, success, failure, past, future, lose their edges. They blur and melt. What remains is the sheer, astonishing fact of existence, the isness. And in the face of that, what problem, what worry, what ambition could possibly compete for primacy? Nothing else matters, because you have touched the only thing that ever did, the quiet miracle of your own alive presence. This is not an invitation to apathy or irresponsibility. It is an invitation to right order. When you know in your bones that your essential being, this aware, loving stillness, is the ultimate, unshakable reality, then all the tasks and troubles of the life you lead from that being fall into their proper place. They become things you do, not things you are. You can engage with them, care for them, even struggle with them, but you will no longer confuse them with yourself. You will know they are the play of light and shadow on the wall of your cave, and you, with your eyes closed, are the one who finally turned around to see the fire and the puppeteer and your own hands, and understood the source of all the drama. So tonight, let this be your deepest prayer, your most powerful act of rebellion against a noisy, demanding world. Close your eyes. Feel the profound privilege of it, the luxury, the ancient animal right to retreat. Let the darkness hold you. For the next few minutes, let it be absolutely true. Nothing else matters. Not the email unsent, not the word unspoken, not the mistake or the triumph. The only thing that is real is this breath, this heartbeat, this boundless inner sky that opens up when the eyes finally, gratefully close. The second movement begins in the stillness after the curtain has fallen. The eyes are closed. The world is shut out. But something remains. In fact, everything remains, simply translated into a new language. This is the discovery. Closing your eyes does not create a void. It shifts the universe from visual spectacle to textural symphony. You are no longer a spectator in a gallery of light. You are a listener in a hall of exquisite, subtle touch. The boundary of yourself, which during the day seems to be your skin, now softens and expands. You do not end at your epidermis. You become a field of sensation, and the darkness is its medium. Feel it now. The weight of your body is no longer a fact you see in a mirror. It is a deep, warm pressure map, a topography of contact. The place where your heel meets the sheet is a distinct, cool piece. The small of your back is a gentle cradle of warmth. The air on your face is not seen as movement, but felt as a delicate, fluid presence, cool at the nostrils, still at the temples. Each breath is a tidal landscape rising and falling within the continent of your torso. This is the world your eyes were too busy to let you know. It is a world of profound intimacy, where you are in constant, silent conversation with gravity, with temperature, with the very support that holds you. In this textural reality, there is no else. There is only this ongoing, sensuous dialogue between your form and the field that contains it. Nothing else matters because everything that matters is happening right here, in this intimate felt sense. And then the soundscape. With the eyes closed, hearing becomes a form of panoramic touch. The distant refrigerator hum is not an annoyance. It is a vibration you can feel in your jaw. The faint rustle of fabric is a whisper against the inner ear. Your own heartbeat, once a silent, visual abstraction on a screen, becomes a deep, internal drum, a rhythm you are, not a rhythm you observe. These sounds are not interruptions of the silence. They are the silence's own rich texture. They are the night breathing, the house dreaming, your own blood singing its ancient, forgotten song. To listen with eyes closed is to understand that silence is not the absence of sound, but the spacious presence that holds all sounds without being disturbed by them. You become that spacious presence. In this realm, thought itself changes texture. A worry, when your eyes are open, is a bright, sharp image, a scowling face, a red deadline on a calendar, a looming shadow. With eyes closed, that same worry, if it arises, is no longer a picture. It is a sensation, a tightness in the gut, a constriction around the heart, a faint electric buzz in the head. And as a sensation, it can be met not with argument, but with curious, gentle attention. You can place your awareness on that buzz as you would place a hand on a cool pane of glass. You can feel its edges, its pulse, and in the deep, textured darkness, a miracle often occurs. The sensation, fully felt and fully allowed, begins to soften, to dissolve, to change its form. It is absorbed back into the textural symphony, becoming just another note, perhaps a minor, melancholic one in the vast, moving composition of your aliveness. So tonight, as you lie with eyes closed, do not seek emptiness. Seek fullness. Become an explorer of texture. Map the landscape of pressure where your body meets the world. Listen to the symphony of sound, not as separate events, but as brush strokes on the canvas of silence. Feel your thoughts as sensations and meet them with the same tender curiosity you would give to a strange, smooth stone found in the dark. You are not escaping. You are diving into the true, rich, multidimensional reality that your eyes, in their glorious but limited focus, had to ignore all day. Here, in this textural truth, there is no separation between you and what you feel. You are the feeling. And in that unified field, the very concept of something else that matters becomes nonsensical. There is only this, and this is everything. The third layer unfolds not as a thought, but as a spatial revelation. With eyes closed, the mind's desperate need to project itself forward toward goals, plans, threats loses its primary engine. Vision is the sense of futurity. It scans the horizon, measures distances, plots a path. In the dark, with the lids sealed, that projector is switched off. And what remains is not a flat, black screen. It is an infinite inner space. You are no longer looking at space, you are space. This is the stage where nothing else matters, transforms from a comforting idea into a visceral, dimensional truth. Because when you are the boundless container, the contained things, the worries, the to-dos, are revealed in their true proportion. Small, temporary constellations in a vast, starless sky. Feel into this. Behind your closed eyelids, there is no over there. There is only a pervasive, directionless here. The sense of being located in a head, behind eyes, begins to dissolve. Awareness, untethered from its visual anchor, diffuses. It might drop down into the chest, becoming a warm, dark pool. It might expand to fill the entire room, feeling the walls not as barriers, but as gentle edges in a field of self. You might feel as if you are floating, not because you are ungrounded, but because the solid reference points of up and down are concepts belonging to the visual world. In the kinesthetic, proprioceptive dark, you are simply oriented in a soft, fluid medium. You are the ocean, and the thoughts are passing fish. Their direction is irrelevant. Their existence is noted, and they swim on. In this inner space, time undergoes a parallel transformation. The visual mind is a clockmaker, ticking off seconds against the movement of the sun, the hands on a dial, the progress bar on a screen. In the dark, that clock dissolves. Time becomes depth, not length. A single minute can feel like a descent through geological strata of silence. An hour can feel like the slow bloom of a night flower. The pressure of what's next vanishes, because in a boundless, centerless space, there is no next. There is only a perpetual, deepening now. And in the eternal now, what could possibly matter except the sheer, silent wonder of being? The past is a memory sensation. floating like silt in this dark water. The future is an imaginary ripple on its surface. Neither has substance. Only the dark water is real, and you are it. This is where true disidentification occurs. With eyes open, you are the figure in the landscape. With eyes closed, you become the landscape itself. The little anxious me, the one who frets about reputation, performance, loss, is seen for what it is: a tiny, temporary formation of energy and story, flickering in a corner of the immense space that you are. It is not dismissed. It is witnessed with a compassion so vast it feels like indifference. The space does not fight the thought, it allows it. And in that absolute allowance, the thought is stripped of its authority, its drama. It is just a flicker, soon gone. So tonight, practice being in space. After you close your eyes, don't focus on any sensation. Instead, feel for the background in which all sensations arise. Feel the emptiness that holds the feeling of your breath. Feel the silence that holds the sound of the house. Feel the boundless, dark awareness that holds the very idea of you. Let your identity relax from being a point of consciousness to being the conscious space itself. In this space, the phrase "nothing else matters" is not a statement of nihilism. It is a simple, geometric fact. When you are the sky, the passing clouds, no matter how stormy, cannot threaten you. They are just weather in your atmosphere, and your atmosphere is clear, boundless, and forever undisturbed at its core. Rest as that. The fourth knowing emerges from the spatial darkness like a slow, distant star. It is the realization that this inner space you have become is not inert. It is intelligent, profoundly, silently intelligent. With the eyes closed and the projector of linear thought disengaged, a different kind of knowing awakens, not knowing about, but knowing from within. It is the intelligence of the root seeking water in the dark soil, the intelligence of the wound healing while you sleep, the intelligence that arranged your cells into a body and knows how to orchestrate their repair. Closing your eyes, you don't become stupid. You become receptive to a wisdom that is too subtle for the glare of daytime consciousness. In this receptive darkness, nothing else matters because you are in direct communion with the governing intelligence of life itself. And that intelligence has only one agenda: wholeness. Feel this intelligence now, not as a thought, but as a current. It is the hum of your nervous system settling, shifting from sympathetic alert to parasympathetic restore. It is the gentle, automatic recalibration of your muscles as they release held tension you never knew you carried. It is the quiet, sure movement of memories and emotions being sorted, filed, or composted in the deep archives of the psyche. You are not doing any of this. You are allowing it by providing the conditions, the darkness, the stillness, the surrendered attention. You have stepped out of the driver's seat and trusted the vehicle to know its own way home. The intelligence you are sensing is the very intelligence of the vehicle, your own organism, your own soul. This is where intuition speaks in clear, wordless sentences. In the visual world, intuition is often drowned out by the louder voices of logic, evidence, and opinion. But in the dark, with the eyes closed, intuition has no competitor. It arrives not as an argument, but as a knowing, a tilt of the inner compass, a sudden somatic certainty in the gut or the heart. It might be about a person, a decision, or simply about the rightness of your own breath in this moment. This intelligence doesn't shout. It aligns. It brings the scattered pieces of your experience into a coherent, resonant whole. To listen to it is to remember that you are not a problem to be solved by the thinking mind, but a harmony to be felt by the whole being. And what of the worries, the else, that supposedly matters? In the face of this deep, somatic intelligence, they are revealed as surface noise, the frantic calculations of a part of the system that mistakenly believes it is the whole system. The intelligent darkness doesn't fight the worry. It envelops it, understands its origin, often a cry for safety or control, and begins the quiet work of metabolizing its energy. The worry is not wrong. It is simply using the wrong language, the language of fear, to express a need that the deeper intelligence can address with the language of rearrangement, release, and rest. So tonight, after you close your eyes and find the inner space, ask a simple, silent question, not with words, but with a felt sense. Pose it to the darkness. What do I need to know? Then listen not with your ears, but with your entire body. Wait in the fertile void. The answer may not come as words. It may come as a softening in a specific part of your body, directing your compassionate attention there. It may come as a wave of peace that tells you all is well. It may come as a forgotten memory that holds a key to a current feeling. Or it may come as the sweet, simple knowledge that you are held, that you are part of a vast, intelligent design that is forever tending toward balance and peace. In this communion, nothing else matters becomes a statement of profound trust. Or trusting the intelligence that built you, that sustains you, and that dreams you forward every night. Your job is not to manage everything. Your job is to close your eyes, get out of the way, and let the deeper, wiser currents of your own existence carry you. They know the way. They always have. And in that knowing, you can finally fully rest. The fifth essence arises not as a revelation, but as a dissolution of the seeker. We have closed our eyes to find peace, to listen to intelligence, to become space. But now, in the deepest folds of the dark, a quiet question echoes. Who is it that is seeking? The one who wanted to close their eyes, the one who is now experiencing the darkness, the one who is pleased with the peace or impatient for more. Who is that? The moment you turn your attention to find that one, it retreats. Like a shadow that only exists when you look away from the light. The sense of a separate me, having an experience, thrives in engagement, but vanishes under direct inquiry. In the dark, with eyes closed, you can finally catch it in the act of disappearing. And what's left? Only the experience itself, shining by its own light. This is where nothing else matters, reaches its logical, beautiful end, because there is no one left for anything else to matter to. This is not a loss. It is the ultimate homecoming. All day, you operate as a manager of a complex enterprise called my life. You are the CEO of perceptions, the accountant of emotions, the public relations director for your own identity. Closing your eyes begins the process of shutting down the corporate office. But here, in the fifth stage, you realize you were never the CEO. You were the building in which the corporate drama was being played out. The walls, the floors, the space, the executives, your thoughts, and the employees, your sensations, come and go. But the building remains silent and unmoved. The building, and not the frantic occupant, is the deepest peace. In this peace, matters are not important or unimportant. They are simply patterns of energy moving through the architecture of your being. They leave no mark on the foundational stillness. From this vantage, even the profound sensations, the intelligent currents, the expansive space, they too are seen as experiences within you. You are the awareness that witnesses the dark space, that feels the intelligent hum, that notices the texture of the breath, or prior to all of it. You are the canvas, and all these beautiful dark explorations are just the first layers of paint on a field of infinite potential. To know yourself as the canvas is to be freed from anxiety about the painting. A brush stroke of worry, a splash of joy, a smear of fatigue, they do not affect the substance of the canvas. It holds them all, accepts them all, and remains unchanged. So how do you rest here? You don't do anything. You simply stop claiming the experiences as mine. The next time a thought arises in the darkness, instead of following it or pushing it away, ask gently, to whom does this thought appear? Don't answer intellectually. Feel for the source of awareness. You won't find a thing. you'll find a no thing that is vividly aware. That aware no thing is what you are. The thought is like a bird flying through the sky of your being. The sky doesn't belong to the bird. The bird doesn't alter the sky. The sky simply is, allowing all flights. Tonight, let this be your practice, the practice of disentanglement. After closing your eyes and settling, let each experience a sound, a bodily sensation, an emotion announce itself. And with each announcement, inwardly whisper, not me, not mine. Feel the sensation of releasing ownership. You are not the tight shoulder. You are the awareness of tightness. You are not the quiet mind. You are the awareness of quietness. You are not even the one who is practicing this. You are the awareness in which the practitioner arises and ceases. Rest as that awareness, empty, clear, impersonal. In this emptiness, the last vestige of seeking dissolves. There is no one left to seek and nothing left to find. There is only this, the undeniable, peaceful fact of being aware. And in that, truly, nothing else matters, because there is no separate else, and no separate you for it to matter to. There is just the boundless, silent, happy fact of existence, knowing itself. This is the stillness beyond stillness, the home beyond home, and you are already here. The sixth knowing dawns not as a light, but as a deepening of the dark. It is the recognition that this boundless awareness you have touched is not a neutral screen. It is a presence, a loving presence. With the eyes closed and the seeker dissolved, what remains is not a cold, existential void. It is a warm, intimate fullness. It is the dark that knows you, that holds you, that has been waiting for you to stop looking elsewhere, so it could finally embrace you without distraction. This is the stage where nothing else matters, reveals its heart, because you have met the only thing that ever did, the unconditional, silent love that is the source and substance of your own awareness. And in that meeting, all seeking ends in gratitude, not in emptiness. This love is not an emotion. It is the fundamental nature of the space itself. It is what the awareness is made of. When you are the sky, you are not indifferent to the birds. You are the very freedom that allows them to fly. When you are the ocean, you are not separate from the waves. You are the deep, supportive water that is the wave in its essence. This loving presence is like that. It is the compassionate ground of being that holds your pain without being pained, knows your joy without clinging to it, and witnesses your journey with infinite patience. In the dark, with eyes closed, you stop perceiving it as an object, a feeling of love, and start knowing it as your own subject. The I that is aware is itself love. From here, the remnants of your life, the worries, the roles, the memories, are not rejected. They are seen as children of this love. They are formations within the loving presence, momentarily forgotten their origin. A worry is just a tense knot in the fabric of this loving awareness. To heal it, you don't attack the knot, you soak it in the warmth of the fabric itself. You bring the loving presence, which you are, to bear on the sensation of worry. You surround it, permeate it, not with effort, but with simple, abiding attention. The knot, held in love, naturally begins to loosen. It remembers what it is made of. This transforms the entire experience of rest. You are not trying to get peace. You are relaxing into the peace that has always been holding you. It is the difference between a child finally falling asleep in the anxious dark and that same child realizing the dark is their mother's arms. The arms were always there. The child just had to stop struggling and feel them. When you close your eyes and sink through the layers of texture, space, and intelligence, you are sinking into these everlasting arms. The love does not come from outside. It is what you are at the deepest level. Your essence is love-aware presence. Everything else is a modification of that. So tonight, after you close your eyes and move past the sensations and the thoughts, feel for the quality of the awareness that remains. Is it harsh? Is it indifferent? Or is it profoundly welcoming, gentle, and safe? Let yourself be received by it. You might phrase it as a silent prayer. Let me feel what is already holding me. Then, let go of all effort to feel anything specific. Simply be. Allow the innate, loving intelligence of your own consciousness to register itself. It might feel like a softening around the heart, a sweetness at the back of the throat, a sense of being profoundly, utterly okay without a reason. In this love, the last whispers of else are not banished, they are baptized. They are returned to their source. The worry about tomorrow is heard by the love that holds all time. The regret from yesterday is healed by the love that holds all experience. Nothing else matters, because everything is now seen as a temporary form of the one thing that matters eternally. This love, this presence, this you. Rest here, not as an achievement, but as a recognition. The eyes are closed, the world is gone, and you are home in the loving dark that has been your true face all along. The seventh understanding is not an addition, but a simplification so radical it borders on the absurd. We have journeyed through the dark to find texture, space, intelligence, the dissolution of the seeker, and a loving presence. Now, all these beautiful, profound layers themselves begin to fold in. like a telescope collapsing into its smallest, most essential tube. Everything converges on a single point, the sensation of eyelids being closed. That's it. The entire universe of inner discovery, the peace that passes understanding, the love that holds all things, it is all contained in and expressed by this one simple animal fact. Your eyes are shut. The weight of the lids, the slight pressure of lash against lash, the total, merciful absence of light. This is the ground zero of nothing else matters. When you can rest here, in the sheer, unadorned fact of closed eyes, you have reached the core. Everything else is commentary. Think of it as the ultimate dropping of the story. You are not closing your eyes to meditate, to find God, to escape, to heal, to listen, to become space. You are simply closing your eyes because they are tired, because it is night, because it is the natural thing to do. All the spiritual grandeur we've explored is the mind's beautiful, unnecessary decoration of a biological inevitability. The miracle isn't in the mystical experiences the darkness might offer. The miracle is the darkness itself, chosen, allowed, succumbed to. The miracle is the permission you give your nervous system to shift from receive mode to integrate mode with this one humble gesture. In this simplification, time vanishes completely. There is no journey into the self. There is just this closed eyes, now, and now, and now. Each moment is the same moment. Each breath is the same breath. The search for deeper states becomes irrelevant because you are no longer comparing this moment to a better, more profound one you think you should be having. You are having the only moment there is, the one where your eyes are closed, and it is utterly complete. In its completeness, it is peaceful. In its peace, it is loving. In its love, it is intelligent. All those qualities are not stages to reach. They are inherent in the simplicity of the act itself, when the act is stripped of all agenda. So tonight, practice this ultimate simplicity. When you close your eyes, do not go looking for anything. Do not feel your body. Do not listen for sounds. Do not watch your thoughts. Simply be the one with closed eyes. Feel the sheer physical reality of it. The eyelids are a curtain. The show is over. There is no need to peek behind the curtain. The truth is the curtain itself, drawn. Let your entire identity shrink, not in a limiting way, but in a focusing way to this one point of sensation, the gentle seal of sightlessness. Everything you are, everything you need, is contained in this. You are a creature who can, at will, shut out the world and enter the holy dark of your own being. is your power. That is your sanctuary. That is enough, more than enough. It is everything. From this place of radical simplicity, if a thought of something else arises, a worry, a plan, a memory, it is seen with crystal clarity as a fantasy. It is a fictional story trying to distract you from the one undeniable present tense truth. Your eyes are closed. Nothing else is happening. Nothing else can happen that is more real, more immediate than this. The thought, in the face of this concrete, somatic fact, loses all persuasive power. It is a ghost arguing with a stone. The stone, the weight of your own resting lids, wins every time. So rest as this victory. Rest as the stone. Rest as the closed curtain. Rest as the simplest animal in its den, safe in the dark. There is nowhere to go, nothing to become, no one else to be. You have done the one thing that ends all seeking. You have closed your eyes, and in that, you have already arrived at the only destination there ever was. The eighth layer is not about deepening the experience, but about recognizing its already complete nature. With eyes closed, sunk into the radical simplicity of just that fact, a final, gentle knowing arises. This is not a practice. This is a return. You are not achieving stillness by closing your eyes. You are revealing the stillness that was always there, beneath the frantic activity of seeing. The eyes, in their glorious, constant scanning, were like a hand stirring the surface of a pond. Closing them is not an act of negation. It is the simple, graceful cessation of the stirring. And when the hand is stilled, the water doesn't become calm. It is seen to have been calm all along, underneath the ripples. The stillness was the permanent condition. The ripples were the temporary activity. Nothing else matters now takes on its most grounded meaning. The else is all the ripples, the objects of sight, the stories of the mind, the dramas of identity. They matter intensely when you are looking at them. But when you cease the looking, when you close the eyes and stop stirring the water, their importance is revealed to be contingent, parasitic upon your attention. Without your gaze giving them energy, they sink back into the still water from which they arose, leaving no trace. The peace you feel is not something new you've created. It is the default state of your being, finally allowed to be itself, unimpeded. You are not manufacturing peace in a factory of self-improvement. You are simply turning off the machines that were making all the noise. From this perspective, even the profound inner textures, spaces, and loves explored in earlier stages are themselves ripples, beautiful, meaningful ripples, but ripples nonetheless. They are experiences within the stillness. The ultimate discovery is the stillness itself, which is not an experience, but the capacity for all experience. You are that capacity, and it is never troubled, never improved, never diminished. It just is, like the sky, which is equally present on a day of hurricanes and a day of perfect calm. Your job is not to create the calm sky. Your job is to remember you are the sky and to stop identifying so completely with the weather. So tonight, let your practice be one of allowing recognition. Close your eyes, feel the simplicity, and then listen for the silence behind the simplicity. Not a silence of absence, but a silence of profound, alive presence. This is the stillness that was there before you closed your eyes. It was there during the most hectic moment of your day. It has been there your entire life, the silent background of every thought, every sight, every feeling. You are not entering it. You are relaxing your identification with everything that is not it. You are letting the ripples subside by no longer feeding them with your belief that they are more real, more substantial than the water upon which they play. In this recognition, a gentle, untouchable joy may arise. It is the joy of the solution to a problem you forgot you had. The problem was, I am not at peace. I must find peace. The solution is, I am peace. I have always been peace. I just got distracted by all the things that seemed to matter more. The closing of the eyes is the end of distraction. It is the ultimate gesture of remembering. Rest here in this already completeness. You are not building a state. You are coming home to a fact. The day's turmoil, tomorrow's uncertainty, they are ripples on your surface. But you are the deep, still, bottomless water. And in that depth, truly, finally, nothing else matters. Because the else cannot reach here. It can only dance upon the surface, and you are the fathomless below. Sleep, then, is not an escape from the surface storms. It is a sinking into the depth that was yours all along. The ninth essence is where even the metaphor of water and ripples dissolves. What remains is not a thing to be described, but a direction of surrender. It is the understanding that closing your eyes is the physical enactment of a spiritual truth, the turning of awareness from object to source. All this time, awareness has been streaming outward through the portals of the eyes to illuminate a world. To close the eyes is to reverse the flow. It is to let awareness fall back, like a wave receding from the shore, not in defeat, but in fulfillment. It is returning to its ocean. This inward collapse of attention is the final, silent yes to the proposition that nothing else matters. Because when the energy of consciousness is no longer spent on the 10,000 things, it pools at its origin. And at its origin, it finds only itself whole, satisfied, needing nothing. In this stage, the feeling of closed eyes itself becomes transparent. You are no longer a person feeling your eyelids shut. You are the awareness that has withdrawn from the feeling of eyelids, from the darkness, from the inner space, from the sense of surrender. You are awareness aware of itself without an intermediary. It is a knowing without a known, a love without an object, a peace without an opposite. This is not a special trance state. It is the most ordinary reality, stripped bare of all projection. It is what you are when you are not being anything in particular. And it is here, in this nameless, featureless ground, that the phrase "nothing else matters" becomes not a statement about the unimportance of the world, but a simple description of fact. There is nothing else. There is only this, undivided, unchanging, complete. From this vantage, the entire journey of the night, the textures, the intelligence, the love, the simplicity, is seen as a beautiful, gradual letting go of layers of something to arrive at nothing. And this nothing is not empty. It is vibrantly, potently full. It is the no thing that gives rise to everything. Your worries, your joys, your body, your life, they are all ephemeral formations within this no thing. They are its dance. To close your eyes and rest as this no thing is to become the dance floor, not the dancer. The dance goes on above you, but you are the still, supportive ground that makes the dance possible, and you are utterly untouched by its steps. So tonight, let go of the last concept, the concept of closing your eyes to find peace. Instead, simply let the eyes close, and then let go of the one who closed them. Let go of the intention. Let go of the sensation. Let go of the darkness. Let go of the awareness of letting go. What remains? Don't answer with a thought. Don't reach for an experience. Simply be the unspeakable absence that is prior to all presence. It is not blank. It is ripe. It is the silence from which the first word of creation is spoken each morning when you open your eyes. In this, the search ends, not with a bang, but with a sigh so deep it has no sound. You have turned awareness so thoroughly inward that it has looped back upon itself and disappeared into its source. And in that disappearance, you find you were never lost. You were always this, the silent, spacious origin, pretending to be a someone who closes their eyes, so you could have the unspeakable joy of remembering you are the everything that needs no eyes to see itself. Rest here as no one in nothing, which is everything. This is home. The 10th knowing is not knowing at all. It is the sound of the latch, not the latch on the window, but the latch on the self. It is the soft, final click of the door through which you have been peering, the door labeled I, with its keyhole of two open eyes. When you close your eyes and follow the surrender all the way in, you don't arrive in some other place. You simply hear the door shut behind you. And in the silence that follows, a shocking, gentle truth is all that remains. There is no one here who needs to close their eyes. There never was. The one who thought they were seeking stillness by shutting out the world was a dream. The eyelids that fell were part of the dream. The profound darkness, the inner vistas, the loving presence, all were scenery within the dream. The only reality is the aware emptiness in which the entire dream, from the first moment of wakefulness to the last thought before sleep, is appearing and disappearing. And that aware emptiness has no eyes to close. It is already eternally still. Close your eyes. Nothing else matters, was the final, perfect instruction for the dreamer. It was the cue for the character in the play to walk off stage. And when the actor exits, what remains? The empty stage, the silent theater, the potential for the next performance. This empty stage is what you are. It doesn't matter if the eyes of the last character were open or closed. The stage is indifferent. It simply is. And in its isness, there is no conflict, no seeking, no attainment. There is only the pure, peaceful suchness of being, which includes the possibility of a new dream called Sarah, a new drama of opening and closing eyes, of worries and wonders, all dancing for a while upon its boundless, silent boards. So, what is the call to action from this place, beyond all places? It is the gentlest, most natural thing in the world. Live from the stage, not the script. When you open your eyes tomorrow, let the world arise not as a demand upon a separate someone, but as a glorious, ephemeral play appearing on the stage of your own awareness. Engage with it fully. Love, work, create, struggle. But always in a breath, remember, you are the space in which this is happening, not the actor being battered by the plot. When worry comes, see it as a particularly dramatic line in the script. Feel its texture, speak its lines if you must, but know it is not the truth of the stage. The stage remains unchanging. And when night falls again and the body grows weary, you will have no need for a grand spiritual maneuver. The closing of the eyes will simply be the actor's final bow for the day. A natural, graceful end to the performance. You will rest not as someone who has found peace, but as the peace that allowed someone to be dreamed for a day. This is the deepest rest of all. Thank you for walking this profound simplicity with me. It has been an honor to share this silent stage with you. Now let the eyes close, or let them stay open. It is all the same to the stillness that you are. May your night be a perfect, dreamless interval between acts, and may you awaken not to a new struggle, but to the fresh, joyful wonder of the next scene unfolding upon the eternal stage of your own boundless being. Sweet, dreamless, and utterly free rest to you.